6 lucky numbers. To win big and get rich on the 1st of August, 2025 Buddhist teachings. What if your next big breakthrough isn't just about luck, but about alignment? As August 1st, 2025 draws near, the energy of 6 powerful numbers is rising, numbers that don't just promise fortune, but carry deeper messages rooted in ancient Buddhist wisdom. In this video, we're not just talking about lucky numbers to win big, we're diving into the hidden spiritual meanings behind each one. These are not just digits on a lottery ticket, they are mirrors for your life's journey. Each number offers a lesson, a shift in perspective, and maybe even a doorway to transformation financially, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's not all. In the second part of this video, we'll explore how to live a truly rich life without chasing money at all. Because what if the real jackpot isn't found in numbers, but in peace, clarity, generosity, and purpose? So take a breath. Set your intention. Let's uncover the 6 lucky numbers that could change more than your bank account. They might just change your life. 1. Number 16. The Divine Interruption. Number 16. The Divine Interruption carries a powerful and timely message, especially for those between 30 and 65 who may be standing at life's crossroad, questioning past roles, beliefs, or identities. This number doesn't arrive with chaos to punish, but with purpose to awaken you. When life feels like it's unraveling, it's not falling apart, it's realigning itself. Like a thunderstorm that clears the sky, number 16 signifies a necessary disruption, a sacred pause that invites you to shed what no longer serves your higher path. In Buddhist teachings, this aligns deeply with the truth of impermanence. The Buddha once said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering." What may feel like a breakdown is often a breakthrough in disguise, revealing your truest self beneath layers of illusion and societal conditioning. Now is the time to embrace silence, to step back from noise and busyness, and trust that what is falling away is creating space for something far more genuine to emerge. Lao Tzu reminded us that, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." In today's fast-paced world, we often grasp for control, clinging to roles we've outgrown. But freedom comes when we learn to release, to breathe deeply into the unknown. Just like a tree loses its leaves so it can rest and grow again, you too are invited to surrender and find peace in the quiet, knowing that this so-called interruption is actually divine timing at work. 2. Number 18. The Spiritual Mirror. Number 18. The Spiritual Mirror speaks directly to you if you've ever felt like life has tested your spirit, stretched your patience, or pushed you into silent corners where no one seemed to notice your quiet strength. This number symbolizes resilience, transformation, and the deep inner evolution that often happens without applause. It's not about chasing success on the outside first, it's about aligning with your truth on the inside. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that no longer serves me? Buddhist wisdom teaches that lasting abundance begins not in the material world, but in the stillness of the soul. As the Buddha taught, you yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way. That's what number 18 does. It reflects your potential, but also your responsibility to let go of old roles and patterns so that your true self can emerge. One listener, Karen from Texas, shared that after consistently seeing the number 18, she took it as a sign to leave a toxic job, began journaling her intentions daily, and within months, found herself in a peaceful new role that paid more and allowed her to serve others with compassion. She said it felt like the number gave her permission to trust herself again. When you encounter this number, don't just nod and move on. Pause, breathe, and write down what you're truly ready to release. What weight are you tired of carrying? What part of your past no longer fits your present self? These are powerful questions that open the door to change. Number 18 is not just lucky, it's a reminder that your spiritual readiness shapes the richness of your outer life. So today, your lesson is this: true wealth comes after inner clarity. Let go of what dims your light and step forward with quiet strength. The path is already opening. 3. Number 20. 2. The Master Builder. Number 22, known as the Master Builder, is one of the most powerful numbers you can encounter, especially if you're someone who feels like there's a bigger life waiting for you, but you're not quite sure how to build it. This number is a call to action. It tells you that you already have the tools to shape your dreams into reality, but you need to stop waiting for the perfect moment. Vision without discipline is just fantasy. But vision with discipline, that's manifestation. Ask yourself right now, what dream have I been putting off because I feel unprepared or unsure? Number 20. 2 reminds you that progress starts exactly where you are, not where you think you should be. In Buddhist philosophy, success is never by accident. The Dhammapada teaches, what we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. This aligns with the energy of Saturn's slow, patient, deliberate, but incredibly powerful. One step taken with intention is better than 10 taken in doubt. So instead of scrolling past this message, take a moment to reflect. What small action can I take today to begin what I've been postponing for years? Whether it's writing that business plan, taking the first class, or even having a long overdue conversation, your path begins with that first brick. The lesson of number 22 is simple but life-changing. Clarity plus action plus patience equals a dream made real. You are the architect of your life, so don't delay, start building. If you've watched up to this point, you're already aligning with the energy of abundance and luck for August 1st, 2025. Comment below with "Lucky Path" to show your belief in the power of these 6 fortunate numbers guided by Buddhist wisdom. Don't click away, there's still more to uncover that could shift your fortune and guide you toward a richer, more meaningful life. Stay with us till the end. 4. Number 26. The Harmonizer. Number 26 carries a powerful message rooted in harmony, stability, and the deep connection between our outer actions and inner values. In numerology, the number 2 stands for relationships and intuition, while the number 6 represents responsibility, care, and grounded living together, forming a symbol of a harmonized life. This number is not just about luck in material terms, but about building a life where spiritual wisdom and material efforts walk hand in hand. When the number 26 appears, especially as we move toward August 1st, 2025, it gently urges us to pause, reflect, and ask ourselves, am I living in alignment with what truly matters to me? The Buddhist path reminds us that, as rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgment, but let kindness be your guide. In modern life, it's easy to rush, to hustle for success while neglecting peace, relationships, or inner well-being, but true wealth arises when we slow down and live with purpose. If your life feels out of balance, ask whether your choices stem from fear or from faith. As the Dhammapada says, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Let the appearance of 26 be a quiet bell calling you back to center, nurturing your dreams not just with effort, but with care, integrity, and presence. This is a number for those who are ready to build not just riches, but a life worth living. 5. Number 35. The Evolution Number. Let's talk about a powerful number that might be showing up for you right now, number 35, also known as the evolution number. This isn't just a lucky number for your lottery ticket. It carries a deeper, spiritual message rooted in transformation and personal growth. In numerology, 3 stands for creativity and joyful expression, while 5 symbolizes freedom and transformation. When these energies come together in the number 35, it's a sign that you're standing at a meaningful crossroad in life, one that doesn't require you to destroy everything and start over, but rather to refocus and refine. Think of it like cleaning out your garden. You don't pull up the healthy roots, but you do remove the weeds so the flowers can bloom. In the teachings of the Buddha, change is not chaos. It is mindful transformation. And number 35 is a gentle nudge from the universe to align your external life with your inner truth. Ask yourself right now, are you resisting change, or are you welcoming growth with an open heart? Many people fear change because they think it means letting go of everything they've known. But in Buddhism, we learn that true peace comes from letting go of attachments, not from abandoning our path, but by walking it more consciously. Let me tell you a quick story about a man named David from California. He had been stuck in a job he hated for years, afraid to make a change. One day, while watching a documentary on Buddhism, he kept noticing the number 35 pop up on the street, in his emails, even in a fortune cookie. He took it as a sign. Rather than quitting in a dramatic way, he started using his evenings to develop a small creative business online. Within 6 months, his side hustle became his full-time passion, and he credits that shift to the clarity the number 35 brought him. This isn't magic, it's mindfulness in motion. So if you've been feeling restless, uncertain, or like your life is calling for something more, maybe 35 is your spiritual whisper. What part of your life needs refinement, not rejection? Where can you be more authentic, more creative, more you? Let this number inspire not just wishful thinking, but conscious living. The lesson of 35 is simple yet profound. True transformation doesn't demand destruction. It asks for presence, honesty, and the courage to grow. 6. Number 44. The foundation builder. Imagine for a moment that life isn't a race to riches, but a path to deep, lasting abundance, one that starts with building a strong foundation from within. The number 44, one of the 6 lucky numbers shining especially bright for August 1st, 2025, carries a powerful message rooted in ancient wisdom and modern meaning. It symbolizes stability, patience, and the kind of wealth that doesn't flash and fade, but grows slowly like a mighty tree. If you've been rushing, feeling pressured to succeed quickly, or comparing your journey to others, 44 is your gentle reminder to slow down and breathe. In Buddhism, we're taught that a jug fills drop by drop, and so does a meaningful life. Just like the unseen roots of a tree, your steady efforts, your quiet discipline, and your inner clarity are what truly support your growth, even if the world doesn't notice right away. Mystics like Nostradamus and Baba Vanga spoke of 44 as a number of protection, a spiritual anchor in times of turbulence. Ask yourself honestly, are you reacting from fear or responding from wisdom? When life feels uncertain, can you return to the present moment instead of trying to control the future? Remember, real power doesn't scream, it stands firm, grounded in trust and purpose. So, how can you build your inner foundation today, not in a rush, but with care and intention? Let this number be a mirror, reflecting your potential to grow something unshakable, not just materially, but spiritually too. As the Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Keep listening as we explore more of these meaningful numbers, each one a step deeper into understanding how fortune can follow when we align with wisdom. Luck favors those who believe. If you're feeling inspired by these 6 special numbers rooted in Buddhist insight, Type "fortune flows" in the comments to claim your alignment with abundance. There's still more wisdom ahead. Don't miss the next steps on your path to richness and spiritual balance. How to be rich without chasing money. In a world that constantly tells us to hustle harder, chase more, and never stop striving, it's easy to believe that wealth is something you have to run after, that it's out there, waiting to be earned, bought, or conquered. But what if true richness didn't come from chasing money at all? What if it came from something deeper, something already within your reach? In this part of the video, we're going to explore 7 timeless forms of wealth, each one a quiet but powerful reminder that you can live a rich, meaningful life without ever needing to run after money. Let's begin this journey not toward more, but toward enough. Number 1. A generous heart. A generous heart is one of the most overlooked keys to lasting wealth, not just in terms of money, but in a deeper, more fulfilling sense of prosperity. The Buddha once said, "If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it." This isn't just spiritual advice, it's a timeless principle echoed in modern psychology and even in business. When you give freely your time, your attention, your wisdom, or your material support, you create a powerful current that moves outward but inevitably circles back to you. In today's fast-paced world, where many people are chasing more money, status, and comfort, it's easy to become guarded, fearful of loss, and overly protective of our time and resources. But the paradox is that the more tightly we hold on, the more disconnected and impoverished we often feel. True abundance is like a river, it must flow. When we block the flow by withholding kindness or assistance, we also block the return. People naturally gravitate toward those who are generous not only with money, but with patience, understanding, and encouragement. In business, generosity builds trust and loyalty. In relationships, it deepens emotional bonds. In community, it creates resilience and goodwill. A well-known Zen proverb says, "The fragrance remains on the hand that gives the rose." This reminds us that giving is never a one-way act. It blesses the giver just as much as the receiver. And the impact of small, consistent generosity is far greater than we imagine. Offering someone your full attention in a distracted world is rare and valuable. Sharing your knowledge with someone who's struggling can change the direction of their life. Giving someone the benefit of the doubt can restore their faith in humanity. In all of these cases, you become richer not only in what might eventually come back to you, but in the strength of your character, the warmth of your relationships, and the inner peace that comes from living with an open hand. As the Dhammapada reminds us, should a person do good, let them do it again and again. Let them find joy in their good deeds. In the modern world, where everything seems to be measured by what we can get, a generous heart reminds us that what we give is often the true measure of our wealth. So ask yourself not just what you have, but what you're giving, because in giving, we plant the seeds for a richer, more meaningful life. Number 2. A calm mind. A calm mind is one of the most underrated forms of wealth in today's noisy, fast-moving world. When your mind is calm, you don't just feel better, you think better. You respond with clarity instead of reacting in haste. You save energy, time, and money by avoiding unnecessary conflict, poor decisions, and stress-driven habits. Have you ever noticed how expensive stress can be? From medical bills to missed opportunities to broken relationships, stress takes a quiet toll, and that toll is not just emotional, it's financial too. That's why the saying goes, stress costs money, calm saves it. But calm isn't just the absence of chaos, it's the presence of awareness. Through mindfulness, meditation, and simple daily pauses, you train your mind to slow down, observe, and choose wisely. You begin to see that not every thought needs a reaction, and not every emotion needs a voice. The Buddha taught that the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So what are you feeding your mind each day? Is it calm or clutter? Are you guiding your thoughts, or are they pulling you around like a wild horse? When we develop a calm mind, we take back control not just of our feelings, but of our lives, and with that clarity comes better choices. You spend less on things you don't need, you speak with intention, and you stop chasing short-term relief in exchange for long-term stability. Just think, how many times has a rushed decision cost you peace or money? When your inner world is steady, your outer world begins to reflect that same order. You become the kind of person others trust, rely on, and want to work with. A calm presence is magnetic. It brings stability into every room, every conversation, and every plan. So let me ask you, what small step can you take today to calm your mind? Maybe it's taking a quiet breath before a meeting, choosing silence over a sharp reply, or setting your phone down for just 5 minutes. The world may still be noisy, but you don't have to let it live inside your head. In the end, the lesson is simple but powerful. A calm mind is a sharp tool for building a richer life, not just in dollars, but in dignity, patience, and wisdom. When you invest in your inner peace, everything else begins to flow with more ease. Number 3. Lifelong learning. Lifelong learning is one of the most powerful and sustainable ways to become truly rich, not just financially, but in wisdom, capability, and contribution to the world around you. In Buddhist thought, wisdom is one of the highest forms of wealth because it shapes how you think, how you act, and ultimately, the kind of life you live. The Dhammapada reminds us, the wise and virtuous shine like blazing fire, and that fire, your inner light, grows brighter the more you feed it with knowledge, curiosity, and self-reflection. You see, in a world that's constantly changing, the ability to keep learning is more valuable than any single skill. It's what keeps your mind flexible, your heart open, and your life expanding. So ask yourself, what new idea have you explored this month? What skill are you working on that challenges your limits and sharpens your awareness? Whether it's reading a new book, learning a language, deepening your emotional intelligence, or simply being curious about how something works, each act of learning adds a layer to your character, a tool to your toolbox, and a gift you can one day offer others. It's important to understand that learning doesn't only come from formal education. Some of the greatest lessons come from listening deeply, watching how life unfolds, and asking the right questions. In Buddhist practice, even silence can be a form of study, and every person you meet, every mistake you make, can be your teacher. As the Buddha said, a fool who knows they are a fool is wise, but a fool who thinks they are wise is indeed a fool. This teaching reminds us that humility is the gateway to growth, because if you already think you know everything, what room is there to learn? Now think about this. What is one area in your life where you've grown significantly in the last few years? Was it through success or through struggle? More often than not, it's the challenges that teach us the most. But to receive the lesson, you must be willing to stay open, to reflect, and to ask, what is this here to teach me? Lifelong learners are not only more adaptable, they're more confident, more resilient, and often more prosperous because they're always evolving, always finding new ways to serve and create value. So if you want to grow your wealth, don't just invest in assets, invest in awareness, in knowledge, and in your capacity to keep learning, no matter your age. Because the richer your mind becomes, the more naturally abundance will follow. If this message about lifelong learning resonated with you, drop a comment below saying, I choose growth, always. It's a small but powerful way to affirm your commitment to becoming wiser, stronger, and more open with each passing day. Let your journey of learning be seen and supported. Number 4. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of those quiet, often invisible forces that shapes a rich and meaningful life, even though it doesn't get as much attention as motivation or passion. But when you look closely, you'll see that behind every form of lasting wealth, whether financial, emotional, or mental, there's a steady current of discipline guiding it. You see, wealth rarely comes to those who chase only pleasure or constantly avoid discomfort. It's not that rest or enjoyment are wrong, but without balance and boundaries, those pleasures become distractions rather than rewards. True freedom, the kind that lets you live on your own terms, comes from self-mastery. It's the ability to delay gratification, to stay focused when others give up, and to keep your word to yourself even when no one's watching. As the Buddha said, endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but final victory comes to the one who endures. So what does this look like in your everyday life? It might mean choosing to save money instead of spending it on impulse, waking up early to work on a goal rather than hitting snooze, or pausing before reacting emotionally to a challenge. Each small act of discipline strengthens your foundation, and over time, it builds a life you can trust. In modern life, where distractions are endless and everything seems urgent, the ability to stay centered and focused is a rare and powerful trait. Self-discipline allows you to manage your time with clarity, your energy with purpose, and your emotions with grace. And here's something most people overlook. Discipline doesn't restrict your life, it expands it. When you practice restraint, you're not losing out, you're gaining control. As James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, put it, every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. So let me ask you, what are you voting for today? Are your daily habits and choices aligned with the life you say you want? Discipline may feel hard in the moment, but it's a form of deep self-respect. It's saying, I value my future more than my momentary comfort. And over time, that mindset pays off in more ways than you can count: more financial stability, stronger relationships, deeper peace, and a clearer sense of purpose. So remember, self-discipline isn't about punishment or perfection. It's about showing up for yourself again and again, building a life that reflects your values, and trusting that the effort you invest today will become the freedom you enjoy tomorrow. Number 5. Meaningful relationships. Meaningful relationships are one of the deepest and most lasting sources of true wealth, richer than any salary, more powerful than any title, and more fulfilling than any possession you can own. When you stop to think about what truly matters in life, what comes to mind first? It's not usually the money you made or the things you bought. It's the people. The ones who stood beside you when things were hard, who believed in you when you doubted yourself, and who shared your moments of joy and success without envy or judgment. These are the people who bring light to your darkest days and depth to your greatest achievements. In Buddhist teachings, this kind of connection is called kalyana mittata, or spiritual friendship. The Buddha taught that noble friendship isn't just a part of the path, it is the path. That speaks volumes about how central relationships are to our personal growth, emotional health, and overall sense of purpose. These are not just casual acquaintances or social media connections. They are the people who help you stay true to your values, who challenge you to grow, and who offer perspective when you lose sight of what really matters. They are, in every sense, your spiritual companions. Now let me ask you something important. Are you taking care of the relationships that matter most in your life? Are you giving time, energy, and presence to the people who uplift you and support your journey? Or have those connections started to fade beneath the weight of deadlines, goals, and distractions? In today's world, where it's easy to get lost in the chase for success, it's also easy to forget that the strongest support for any success is a circle of genuine, loving, and trustworthy relationships. There's a well-known African proverb that says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." The truth in that line becomes clearer the longer we live. Life is not a solo race, it's a shared journey. And to walk it well, we need others, not just in moments of crisis, but in the everyday experiences that make up a meaningful life. Relationships require effort, listening deeply, being honest, showing up when it's inconvenient, forgiving quickly, and expressing gratitude often. But the return on that investment is enormous. Peace of mind, emotional safety, a sense of belonging, and the quiet strength that comes from knowing you're not walking alone. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you prioritized connection over competition? If you made space in your busy schedule to check in, call someone, say thank you, or simply be present without distractions. These small acts create bonds that last. And over time, they build a life that's not just successful on the outside, but whole and joyful on the inside. In the end, the message is clear. Your relationships are part of your wealth. The people who walk beside you, support you, and grow with you are more valuable than anything you can buy. So invest wisely, not just in things, but in hearts, in kindness, and in the kind of connection that brings real, lasting richness to your life. Number 6. Right speech and integrity. When people talk about becoming wealthy, they often think about money, assets, or success. But one of the most powerful and lasting forms of wealth is something far less talked about: your word. The way you speak, the honesty behind your promises, and the integrity you bring into conversations, these are the things that shape your relationships, your reputation, and ultimately, your destiny. In Buddhist philosophy, right speech is one of the Eightfold Path's core teachings, and it goes far beyond just being polite. It means speaking truthfully, kindly, and with purpose. It means avoiding gossip, lies, or words that divide people. The Buddha said, "Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change the world." This isn't just a spiritual lesson, it's a practical one. In today's world, where your words travel faster than ever through texts, emails, meetings, and social media, what you say and how you say it can either build lasting trust or slowly erode it without you even noticing. Let me ask you, when you speak, do people lean in because they know they'll hear something thoughtful and true? Or do they hesitate, unsure if your words match your actions? Because here's something most people overlook: trust is wealth, and your voice is an investment. It's the foundation of relationships, leadership, influence, and opportunity. You can have the best product, idea, or skill, but if people don't trust your word, they won't follow you, buy from you, or stand beside you. So many doors in life are quietly opened by a reputation for honesty and respect, and just as quietly closed by broken promises, careless words, or moments of ego. Integrity is what links speech to action. It's the unseen thread that holds your character together. It means doing what you said you'd do, especially when it's inconvenient. It means owning your mistakes, honoring your values, and not bending the truth just to fit in or get ahead. And here's the deeper truth. When you live and speak with integrity, you feel better. You sleep better. You stop wasting energy pretending, explaining, or apologizing for things that could have been prevented with one honest sentence. Over time, people begin to trust not just what you say, but who you are. That's the kind of wealth that compounds. So what would happen if you treated every word as a seed? Would it grow into understanding, connection, and peace, or confusion, doubt, and regret? In business, in family, in friendship, your voice shapes your legacy. And the wealth built through integrity doesn't just live in your wallet, it lives in the hearts of those who remember how you made them feel. So speak with clarity, Act with honesty. And remember, in a noisy world, those who live with truth stand out, and they are the ones others trust, follow, and invest in again and again. Number 7. Simplicity and contentment. Simplicity and contentment are two of the most overlooked but powerful keys to a truly rich life, not in terms of how much you own, but in how free, peaceful, and fulfilled you feel. The Buddha said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth," and that wisdom rings louder than ever in today's world, where so many are constantly chasing more money, more stuff, more recognition, yet still feeling empty. The truth is, the more we chase, the more we reinforce the feeling that we are lacking. But when we embrace simplicity, we begin to see how much we already have. It's not about giving everything up, it's about giving up the things that weigh us down. In a world driven by marketing, comparison, and pressure to always upgrade, simplicity becomes a radical act of self-respect. It helps you cut unnecessary expenses, not just in your bank account but also in your mental space. You don't need 5 subscriptions, a bigger car, or the latest gadget to feel whole. What you need is clarity about what actually adds value to your life and the courage to let go of the rest. Simplicity clears the clutter so you can focus on what matters: your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, and your purpose. It's about choosing less craving and more presence, because as the saying goes, the richest person is not the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least. So let me ask you, are you chasing a life that looks rich, or are you building a life that feels rich? When you live simply and are content with what you have, you gain a kind of freedom that no paycheck can buy. You no longer need to impress anyone, prove anything, or keep up with anyone else's standards. And that frees you to live on your own terms. From a financial point of view, simplicity also creates room for savings, investment, and long-term stability. From a spiritual view, it creates inner stillness. As Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully said, "Peace is every step." And when you stop running, you begin to feel that peace. So the next time you feel pulled toward more things, more noise, more rush, pause and ask yourself, what would my life look like with less, but better? That's where true richness begins, not in the endless pursuit of more, but in the quiet confidence that what you have and who you are is already enough. And there you have it. 6 lucky numbers to align with on August 1st, 2025, and 7 deeper forms of wealth that remind us true richness begins within. Whether you're here for guidance, growth, or just a moment of reflection, we hope today's message offered you both insight and inspiration. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. And make sure to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos filled with Buddhist teachings, spiritual insight, and practical wisdom for everyday life. Until next time, may your path be peaceful, your heart be generous, and your fortune flow from wisdom. Thank you for walking this journey with us.